Hi, this is Jeff DeVeronica from the Democrat and Chronicle. Special guest in studio today, Jimmy Hawkins. He is a legend, even though you probably don't recognize him now because you're most famous for when you were a young boy in the movie It's a Wonderful Life. It's a big weekend in Seneca Falls. Obviously, that's kind of the storied version of where they think the movie really, where Frank Capra really had the idea to set that thing and that movie, the 1946 classic. This is the 70th anniversary of the movie, 21st celebration in Seneca Falls. It's going to be your first time there. How excited are you to get to Seneca Falls and to really experience all this?
Oh, very excited. I've been wanting to go for many years, but this year everything fell in and I was able to, and they still wanted me. So it's the first time that
Little Tommy Baily. I think I forgot to say that. Sorry.
Baily kid. Yes, right.
Little Tommy Baily is now
right.
all grown up, and the three living Baily children are going to be there for the first time together.
Yeah.
Carolyn Grimes will be there. Of course, she's Zuzu.
Zuzu, yeah.
And Carol Coombs, Janie, will be there.
Yeah, I don't know if she'll play the piano, but we might get her to play the piano. She can play Hark the Herald Angels.
So how did you? I mean, you were what, 5 years old, right? How did
Four and a half.
How did you get into? I mean, was this your first gig?
Oh no! I'd done other films at MGM. My first picture was with Spencer Tracy, and Hume Cronin and Jessica Tandy were my parents. And while I was on the set doing that movie, the AD came up to my mom, the assistant director, and said, "You know, they're having trouble finding a kid to play Lana Turner's son in a movie, and your kid would be perfect for it. When we have a break here, I'm going to go over and I'll take you and your son to meet the director to see if he agrees with me." So I have a great picture of my mom holding me and Lana Turner standing there with the director. And when I finished doing that Seventh Cross with Spencer Tracy, I went right into Marriage is a Private Affair with Lana Turner. And then did a lot of other movies at MGM with Lassie, and then Frank Capra's was looking for the Baily family for It's a Wonderful Life, and he saw every kid in town, and finally, after meeting us all, he thought this kid looked good here, this kid looked kind of like Donna Reed, and he felt he had the Baily family, so he had us all out to the studio, and they were rehearsing, and they brought Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed out on the front porch of the Baily house at 320 Sycamore, and had us all take a picture together, and he said, "That's the Baily family."
That's the Baily family, yeah. Perfect. I mean, you've worked with some icons. I've Stewart, Reed. We'll talk about Elvis in just a second. Yeah. But what do you remember about that? I mean, do you have a lot of memories of shooting the movie? Where was it shot? Tell us about that.
Yes, I have vivid memories of, getting up. It was dark, and my mom would take me on a streetcar and buses to get out to Culver City. RKO had a
shot in California then, right?
That's correct. And it was called the RKO Pathé lot. And that's where they shot Gone with the Wind, a lot of big movies. And so we'd arrive there on the stage and walk in, and there's the Baily house. I mean, it was like building a house there. And you walk in on the set, and everybody's wandering around doing their lighting, and there's the big Christmas tree, and it's 90 degrees outside. And here we have snow, real snow outside the Baily house. And so we spent 12 days shooting all the Baily kid stuff on the film. And
when did this movie really take off? Like, you knew you were going to be connected to this thing. I mean, you went on to do work with Elvis Presley and Ozzie and Harriet, the Donna Reed Show, Leave It to Beaver. Yeah. 73 years in film for you. But when did this really become your calling card? I mean,
well, back in the 70s, somebody from the studio didn't pick up the copyright, and the movie fell into public domain. And TV stations all over the United States could play it for free, and they took advantage of that.
It used to be on all the time, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. One day on Christmas Eve in Los Angeles alone, from Christmas Eve to Christmas Day, it played 11 times. And now NBC has the exclusive rights.
Right.
They only show it like 2 times a year. But when it fell into public domain, it started playing, and people gravitated to it and started having trivia parties. And it grew and grew. And Paul Peterson and I sat on the board of the Donna Reed Foundation, and we wanted to do something for the foundation to give it money. So I came up with the idea of writing a trivia book. I said, you know, people think they know all about the thing. Well, I know a lot of things nobody knows, and then we can come up with a lot of other questions. So this was like in...
This was 30 years later?
Oh yeah, this is like 92. And
Oh my
that's when
gosh.
it really started to take off.
Wow.
And we wrote this trivia book, and the publisher, big publisher, thought, well, we're going to print these many books. Well, they ended up printing 10 times the amount. It just went crazy. Everybody wanted something from It's a Wonderful Life. And so 2 years later, it was the 50th anniversary of It's a Wonderful Life, so I wrote a book about that. And I've written 4 or 5 books. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And I interviewed, was talking to Sheldon Leonard, who played Nick the bartender in the film.
Okay, yeah.
And when it first came out, it lost $500,000. And Frank Capra was very depressed about that.
Which was a heck of a lot of money.
A lot of money, a lot of money. And Sheldon Leonard said the film never changed. The audience changed. And
Why do you think people connect with this film so much?
Well, I think it's because of the theme of the movie. It's what Frank Capra was trying to tell people in the movie, that each man's life touches so many others. If they weren't around, it would leave an awful hole. Now, you see George Baily in the film, and he's helping somebody or doing things, but he never thought he was doing anything special. To him, it was the right thing to do. And then he gets to see what life would have been like if he had never been born. And he saw how many lives he really touched. He would help somebody with a loan or do something for people that changed their life forever. And people say, well, I've never thought I've really done anything in my life. And maybe I have. Maybe there's a little bit of George Baily in me. Maybe if I think about it, I can, and the film tells you that you can touch lives for the better if you want to. And that's what they gravitate to.
We're talking with Jimmy Hawkins here, Tommy Baily from It's a Wonderful Life. It's a big weekend in Seneca Falls. And, you know, let's talk about the legend of Seneca Falls and Bedford Falls. Frank Capra, from what I've learned, had a cousin, I think, that lived there.
An uncle who was a barber there.
Okay, so...
And he, on his way to New York, passed through to visit a relative.
And there are mentions of Rochester and Syracuse and Elmira.
That's right.
In the movie.
He saw the look of Seneca Falls, the bridge, the
storefronts,
section of the town that were Italian American. And so Seneca Falls, a few years back, glommed onto that. And what with the legend of Frank Capra actually being there, they felt that Frank Capra fashioned Bedford Falls after Seneca Falls.
Right, 1946 is when this film debuted.
Right, and he was there in 45. So they kind of put 2 and 2 together, and it could very well be true. But the nice thing about it is they're keeping the legend of It's a Wonderful Life alive through this whole town.
Opened a museum a few years ago.
That's right,
I mean,
great
this weekend is pretty amazing. I mean, you're going to be kept pretty darn busy.
Oh,
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But there's some really cool things. I know there's a 5K run. There are chats with the actors. You're going to talk about your career in film and the way it's would span from black and white to digital now.
Yeah.
There's a scavenger hunt, Uncle Billy's scavenger hunt for kids. There's obviously screenings, a couple of big dinners that were sold out weeks ago.
Right.
It's pretty amazing stuff, and it's only it's a short ride from Rochester, a short ride from Syracuse, and most of the stuff, this is cool too, it's free. Just go and show up, and you can walk into, you can see letters from young men who loved Donna Reed, the servicemen.
Oh yeah, through World War II. Yeah, there's a collection of that. There's a lot of memorabilia from Carol and Carolyn's career, my career, so that they can see the connection with It's a Wonderful Life and us kids. And what we like about it, not only did Frank Capra choose us for those parts, but he chose people who enjoyed the film, loved the film, and want to carry on Frank's message, because he isn't here anymore, and we're the last man standing. And so as long as we can talk about it, we like to share the stories of It's a Wonderful Life. And you're nice enough to have me on your show and talk about me in your newspaper, and now you've become a part of the legend yourself.
Well,
You've
it's a
touched
small,
lives,
small part.
but you've touched lives by somebody reading something in it or seeing this video, and it just keeps growing and growing. So I thank you for having me here.
Well, you're welcome. What's the first thing people ask you about?
Well, the first thing, when they find out that I was in the movie, they can't believe somebody's still alive from 7 years ago. And then they all have It's a Wonderful Life story. Oh, I remember when I first saw it. And then they share these stories with us. I've gotten letters from prisoners, guys that are doing time. I said, what do they see? A little larceny in Tommy Baily, that they would take a time and write him? But they did, and they wrote Frank Capra. And after seeing the film, they told Capra that they feel maybe they've done something in their life. They've helped an aunt or somebody when they grew up. They may be in a bad position right now, but that film gave them hope that they may have done something. Because, yeah, I mean, you look at it, Jimmy Stewart never thought he did anything. And look what happened.
Some iconic moments, obviously, and pictures and obviously clips, but is there a favorite picture of yours or photo from, still shot from the shooting of the movie?
Well, they've captured quite a few of us kids in different scenes. Something happened about 2 weeks ago. The Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Scientists invited us to see the film and celebrate the 70th anniversary. The Academy loved the film so much. They got a brand new print from Paramount, and you know, over 1,000 people showed up to see the film. They had us Baily kids on the stage, and it just shows how important even the Academy. You know, if it was up for 5 Academy Awards, but the only award it won was a citation for movie snow. Frank Capra didn't like
for movie snow.
Yeah, he didn't like the way they had snow back then. It was crunchy. It was Kellogg's Corn Flakes, and it was crunchy, and it was bad for the dialogue. So he worked with the RKO Special Effects Department and came up with a new way of making snow for the picture. And he had big Ritter machines. They were like fans, but they're extremely quiet. And they shot this kind of foamite that firemen used to put out fires.
Okay.
And they had kind of a mixture, and they could shoot it in front of the camera, and the Ritters would make it nice snow or a blizzard look. They turn the things up.
Right.
And so...
well, some of that looks really fantastic.
Oh, it did,
I mean,
and
it's
that's
amazing.
what the Academy realized, that this was different from any movie. And that's the way snow is even today in movies. So that's the only citation they won. You know.
But the richness it's provided to a lot of people's lives is amazing, really. I mean, so many people I know, it's their favorite holiday movie. And they've colorized it, obviously. Years ago they did that.
Well,
black and white.
Paramount recently colorized it.
Okay.
They have a new Platinum 2 DVD set celebrating It's a Wonderful Life, and they have a brand new, beautiful print of it. But they also colorize it, and the reason I like that they colorize it, and believe me, I went down to where the colorization happened, and my siblings went with us, and they threw us a real nice lunch and showed us how they did it. And I would ask them, how did you know I was wearing a powder blue outfit? They did meticulously looked at what people wore then, because there weren't that many color pictures from the set.
Sure.
And I like it because the younger kids don't want to see black and white.
Right.
So in order to get that message that we're all important, I'm glad that Paramount colorized it so they will get the message of It's a Wonderful Life too.
Well, we appreciate you making time coming here to Rochester and spending some time with us. He's going to be in Seneca Falls all weekend. Get out there and see. This is an iconic moment for this film's history.
It is. And we all want to visit with them and hear their stories about It's a Wonderful Life. You know, they share with us too and energize us. And so we're there for them, and we'd like to see them and meet them.
Jimmy Hawkins, it sounds a lot like you feel like George Baily at the end of the movie. You feel that this has been such a rich thing for your life too. So.
Oh, it's been great. I've been very blessed, and Frank Capra has taken us everywhere. And that's nice.
Well, thanks for being here, and thanks for watching us right here at DemocratandChronicle.com.